come back to the corner, sat down, and I got up and whispered in his ear to say, look, you've shown that you belong at this level. You'll get another shot because the fight is close. The fight was close. And Billy Joe was growing into the fight, got caught with a shot. I said, but we're going to have to pull it. That's why he shook his head to say, no, like, I'm going back out. I think he even said, you have to check with him, but I think he even said something orthodox or something like that to say, I can go orthodox or something along those lines. But he was shaking his head because I was saying to him, look, you've shown you belong at this level. You'll get another shot because the fight is close. It's an injury, but it's got to be pulled, and that's why he shook his head.
All these things that are saying that Billy Joe quit and he didn't want anything more, that wasn't what happened in that corner.
Let me clear something up about Billy Joe, yeah? I'm not going to name any names, but I've seen him make tons of fighters, world champions, people that people say got heart. He's made them quit in the gym over and over and over. That's hand on my heart, God's honest truth. I ain't got no reason to say that that's the case, but that is the truth. Like, I've seen a lot of fighters, good quality fighters, quit before he's quit. He's made them quit in the gym. So yeah, the only reason he shook his head was to say don't pull it, but we had to do what we had to do.
Going off that, I know he was obviously some fighters are too brave for their own good, and they need somebody like a Ben Davidson in the corner, or other coaches that have done it. We've seen Gary Lockett, Mark was there, we've seen Gary Lockett do it with Liam Williams as well. We've seen loads of good trainers say, listen, come back and fight another day. Do you know what I mean? So it's always good to see a coach pull a fighter, because we know what fighters are like, especially guys like Billy Joe Saunders. He'll go in there and he will go blind in that eye. If
Billy Joe would have gone out for that round, of course he would have gone out for that round. I know that for a fact. He would have gone out for that round.
What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. Wow. This right here, what we just had to listen to, is honestly one of the most shocking pieces of, I don't know what you'd call it, commentary, fake news, shill news. Wow. I've never heard so much pure gas, like, ever, genuinely. And I know we love to use big words, well, not big words, but I know we love to use, like, oh wow, it's always wow, but this is really wow. Like, wow. That's what this one is. Let's go through it from the jump. I'm going to break this one down, all the crazy things he said, and it's the way, it's not even just Ben, to be fair, because obviously Ben has got MTK and El Trapahan's lipstick right up his backside, and when you've got someone's lippy right up your backside, naturally you become one with them. Yeah, as you heard there, Ben Davidson is one with MTK, he's one with Billy Joe Saunders. They're all just circle jerking together. And when you build, listen, once you've circle jerked with a bag of man a few times, there's nothing you won't do, innit? Let's call a spade here. If you've stood there and circle jerked with a whole bag of man, if you've had next man hanging at the back of you, you know, nothing to lose, have you? There's nothing you won't do at that point, isn't it? There's nothing you won't do at that point. And that's what we're seeing here from Ben. A shocking display of just no shame, have an ass. Yeah, and what we do know is Mark Tibbs has been laying low. Mark Tibbs has been silenced by MTK cabal. I heard a few boys went round to his house and said, listen, you will be touched. We've wiped your interviews. We've wiped all of Mark Tibbs' interviews from the channels, and you best keep quiet. Yeah? I'm hearing they've put Mark Tibbs in the same cupboard as Barry. Yeah? Him and Barry are posted up with a six-pack. No doubt. That's what I'm hearing anyway. Yeah? You best believe it. And it's interesting that normally, yeah, after a fight, yes, there's the post-fight interviews, but normally the next day on Sunday, yeah, Coogan or IFL, they're all in the video with Mark again, aren't they? Normally, it's not just a 2-minute post-fight interview immediately. Normally, they have the next day interview as well, where they have the Sunday kind of thing, the conclusion. Where was that? I'll tell you where it was. MTK, El Trapahan, told Mark to sit down with Barry in the cupboard and lay low. That's what I'm hearing. They said, Mark, you've done enough now. Sit there and be quiet. We're going to bring in the clean-up squad, which is obviously Ben. Let's bring Ben in. Let's bring Ben in with my lipstick up his backside. He'll fix it for us, and that's what's happened. This right here was a fixed job. Ben Davidson is a fixer, no doubt. He'll come in and clean it all up. make sure there's no doubt. He'll shill to such a degree that there'll be no doubt that their reality is real. And I'm not being funny, but us man all saw what happened. It's not like it's one of them ones, oh well now YB, actually it's the Mandela effect. Oh no, Billy didn't really jack on the stool, it was actually, you know what I'm saying, we all was there. Let's not make out there's some Mandela effect going on where we don't, half people think this, half people think that. No, we all know what happened. Don't get me wrong, there's surely some Fury fans and Billy Ho fans who want to, oh YB, of course he jacked him. His eye was, I don't give a what his eye was. We know categorically fighters in the past have had the same injury. Vargas had the same injury, pushing through, looking to get stuck in. Many of a man, categorically, empirically, have had the same injury and pushed on. My man Billy didn't even want to do another round. I've got Eddie Hearn gassing the place up. Here's another one with MTK's lipstick up his backside. Oh, but Billy, I think Billy was brave to finish the round. Come on. You best have thought he was brave to finish the round because he didn't do nothing else. There's nothing else you could feel brave for him about, is there? Let's be real now. What is it with this 2021? Everyone gets a medal. Well, Billy, even though Billy jacked and didn't want no more, let's give him a medal. Oh yeah, well he was superhero, super warrior, super bare knuckle, super 400-year champion. Oh well, bare knuckle, I'll do it anywhere, in the phone box. Giving it all that, he was. Mr. Big Warrior. He jacked. Anyway, you know what? I've been gassed the place up for 5 more minutes again. Let me get to this video. Quick time. Here we go. So from the jump, this is what... I've written it all down. It's quite an amazing display of... What would you call it? It's an amazing display of communication. Anyway, from the jump, he says... I think Billy will get another shot because of how close it was. But I told him I'm going to have to pull it. That's why he shook his head to say no. So let me read that out. Let me read that again for you, man. Ben Davidson claims he told Billy, don't worry, you'll get another shot because of how close the fight was, but I've got to pull it. And that's why Billy shook his head to say no, don't pull it. And allegedly, Ben then says, oh no, and in fact, I'm pretty sure, but you're going to have to ask Billy, I'm pretty sure he even started saying that, you know what, I can switch orthodox to protect my eye. So they're actually trying to build a narrative here. And you best believe, MTK sent this interview to Billy and told Billy, read up on this. You need to read up. Billy, no word of a lie, Billy's doing his homework right now. He's remembering all the things that Ben Davidson said so that he can go out there and regurgitate it. And it's quite amazing how organised they are to an extent, because what you'll notice about Billy Ho's statement was that he says, oh, Ben, he puts it all on Ben. You don't even hear. Mark Tibbs was the main man. But you don't see a mention of Mark Tibbs. Like I told you, MTK have sidelined Mark Tibbs. I'm worried for Mark Tibbs. We need some sign of life from Mark Tibbs. No joke. Anyone around Mark Tibbs, please let me know if he's okay, because I'm hearing he can end up missing. No doubt. He can be one of them ones. He can end up on the MTK list, on the El Trabajan list. 100%. So like I was saying, listen, even though Mark Tibbs was the head trainer, I always thought it was odd why they brought Ben Davidson in. Now we know why they brought Ben Davidson in. He was the clean-up man. Worst case scenario, when Billy jacks, let's bring Ben in so that he can do all the shilling. The head trainer, Billy Joe Saunders, doesn't mention the head trainer. All he talks about, oh, Ben did this, Ben did that. Now we know why. Because Ben was the one who's going to, do you know what I'm saying? Grab his ankles and take the loads off everyone. Like a true shill. Anyway, that's why he shook his head no. Like, what are we doing here? Billy shook his head no because I was going to pull it. No, he wasn't. Let's be real now. What's wrong with you? Mark Tibbs said Billy Ho wasn't giving him the right signals. Now, the right signals to carry on, because Mark Tibbs wanted another round. Mark Tibbs said, can you give me another round? He wanted another round. So, from Mark Tibbs' point of view, what would the wrong signals be? The wrong signals would be, no, I don't want to do another round. So how does it work out? Billy saying, no, don't pull it, would mean, yes, I want to do another round. The two don't add up. Someone's lying. And guess what? The fight ended. So that doesn't make no sense. How can the fight end if Billy wants to do it? And besides, like, okay, you're right. You're right, Ben. You man think you're smart. Eddie Hearn thinks you're smart. Eddie Hearn and DAZN and MTK have pulled the audio. Normally, after a fight, in the behind the scenes, when someone quits, or even when someone gets stopped, they always zoom in on the audio and show you how it unfolded. It happened with Daniel Dubois. Fair play to BT. BT actually released the full audio, 4 or 5 minutes of audio from the corner. They are, fair play to them. They are not cabal controlled. Eddie Hearn, DAZN, and the rest of them goofs censored all the information, censored the audio. And if you actually watch the behind the scenes, it's awkwardly cut. It really skips over the ending of the fight. It's almost, like I said, it's almost awkward. Bearing in mind, a behind the scenes documentary is 30 minutes of information. It's meant to be behind the scenes. It gives you all the intricacies. And then the ending of the fight, which is arguably the most important or exciting or whatever else, the ending of the fight is skipped over. No joke. A 30-minute behind the scenes ending documentary and how the fight ended was over within about 5 seconds. No joke. It skips. 1 minute, Alvarez hits him with a big shot, and next minute you see Alvarez celebrating on the ropes. It's all over. That's how it worked in the behind the scenes. Like I said, Eddie Hearn, DAZN, were told by El Trapahan, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Make sure there's no audio. And if you don't believe me, don't worry about that. Guess where the Mark Tibbs interviews went? If you think that El Trapahan and MTK wouldn't censor the DAZN documentary, never mind that. They've censored all the YouTube interviews. So that is what it is. You can't even find footage of Billy saying no more. Because they're trying to recreate reality. We all saw it. We saw Billy sit there and he didn't protest anything. So you're saying, oh well, no, Billy said no, don't pull it. That's why he was shaking his head. Get serious, Ben. I know you got someone's lipstick up your backside, so you can't. You know what I'm saying? I'll be kind of scrambled too, to be fair. I'll be struggling to tell the truth. Because when you got someone's ting up your backside, yeah, you can't really think straight. To be fair to him. So I'm not even really blaming you, yeah. Because I'd be kind of my thoughts would be scrambled as well. All Ben's worried about is trying to get it out of him at this point. But anyway, listen. Billy didn't protest nothing. That's what we do know. Let's talk turkey now. Billy didn't protest even a little bit of anything. He was happy sitting there. He was going straight back to the Marriott. And that's when Eddie said, Billy, hop in the ambulance and we're going to take you back to the Marriott hotel. And that's where he went. Straight back to Marriott. He didn't go no hospital. Yeah? And that's why actually you'll notice if you watch the footage of Billy Ho walking out to the ambulance, he's covering his face. Because you don't want people to see that there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah? And that's why there's been no pictures released of him in hospital, of him in surgery, of him after surgery. There's nothing. Not a lick of evidence of anything. But anyway, back to this thing. Oh, he shook his head to say no. Billy didn't shake his head to do anything, apart from say no more. We've seen people protest things before. They actually... You can see it on their face. You can see the desperation. And even Wilder, to be fair. Yes, Wilder wasn't fighting back. Yes, I can see how the team pulled it. But, to be fair to him, when you look at his face, he was genuinely, I believe anyway, he was genuinely wanting to carry on. Even though he was going to get worked and he lost anyway. He would have lost anyway, but fair play to him. That there is a man who wanted to carry on. Your man Billy, there was none of that. There was no pleading or shockness about it. He was happy to sit there and head back to the Marriott. Moving on. Ben then says, and to be honest, the way the interviewer conducted himself, just sucking off Billy. I get it. That's why people say, YB, you need to interview people. No. I don't need to interview people, because I ain't going to suck no one off. That's the problem. And how this game works is, if you don't suck people off, you just don't get interviews. Why am I going to go to London at my expense to suck a bag of man off? Yeah? If I wanted to suck a bag of man off, I'd join Grindr. I don't need to hop on the interview thing. And besides, like I said, if the minute you become controversial, that's it, you cut it off. So unless you can, the only way interviewing works, yeah, is number one, if you can suck Eddie off and he gives you a £500 a week payout, like IFL have been getting. Number two, you can consistently just suck everyone off. Otherwise, the first time you ask some serious questions, even AJ, I'd say to AJ, McCrappen's crap, and that'd be it. See what I'm trying to say? There's no point in me bothering, because the first interview we get, I'm going to say to AJ, listen, your training's crap. Yeah? Your training's got you hella scary right now. All the fans think you're scary. That's what I'll tell him. And at that point, don't come back to my gym. So what's the point? So please don't tell me that, oh, YB, go there, because I'm not going to go there and just bend over for people. Like I said, if I wanted to suck people off, I'd join Grinder. With Coogan. That's not me, or Tyan Booth. Yeah? If I wanted to suck people off, I'd join Grinder with Tyan Booth and Coogan. That's what we do know. Because you best believe Tyan stays on his knees. Blowing Billy. Hard. Oh, he loves to mention, the black quitter. Your man Billy jacked, but you stay sucking him. Yeah? Tyan Grinder looking arse, no doubt. Anyway, where was we? Then he moves on and says, Billy, so almost to try and justify, if you believe, Ben Davidson says, if you believe Billy quit, you're on another planet. Billy's made every fighter quit. Billy's fought world champions. Billy sparred Golovkin and stopped him, and Billy bullied everyone in sparring. Billy's a right hard ass. Listen, if you believe that, you're drunk. Billy doesn't have the power to bully anyone. He slaps. It's almost like people telling me Fury was bullying someone. It's unbelievable. The only person Fury can bully is Wilder, who's 210 pounds soaking wet. In fact, 209 pounds soaking wet. That's it. And even then, he couldn't really put him out. Wilder was begging to go out. We've seen Wilder put out by cruiserweights before, in the amateurs, with massive head guard on and massive gloves. So, I just don't believe it. Not even a bit. And people say, YB, will you go in there with him? I'm not a professional fighter. What planet are you on? And even then, to be honest, truth be known, give me a year, I'll go in there and walk him down. I'll show him how it's done. Yeah, if he's slapping around the place. That's what we do know. What's he going to do? 140 pounds soaking wet. Yeah? Anyway, moving on. He goes, next thing. And this is where the interviewer starts really blowing people off. Starts really blowing Billy off. He says, fighters are sometimes too brave for their own good. It's always good to see trainers step in and save them for another day. Because we know Billy would have gone blind in there. What? When he said that, I wanted to get in there and just start going ham on him. Oh, it's great to see. Yeah, it's great to see trainers step in and save them, because we know Billy would go blind. We know Billy wouldn't do anything. And he knows it. And that's what I'm not really bothered about anymore. Billy knows what he would and wouldn't do now. He knows he ain't got... I reckon we're going to see a different Billy. Either way. Don't bother me, but I'm saying I reckon we're going to see him humble. I think he knows deep down in his heart. You can see by his reaction to his... You can see by his comments post-fight. His statement he put out. You can tell he ain't the same man he thought he was. And he knows it deep down. Yes, he may... Yes, because of MTK, he may shill a bit and try and make out it didn't happen, but deep down he knows who he is now. He knows he ain't no bad man. He knows he ain't no bad mind. He knows he's a bottom. Yeah, Billy Ho is a confirmed bottom. Alvarez turned him in, or not even turned him in, he always was a bottom, but now it's confirmed. Because for a while, Billy was strutting around the place thinking he was a top. He ain't no top. Yeah? So after that bit of shillery from the interviewer, we know Billy would go blind, and Billy too brave for his own good, and Eddie heard, Billy was really brave for 90 seconds. Billy didn't get hit, you know. For that 90 seconds he ran. And Alvarez, because he knew that the end was nigh for Billy, Alvarez spent that last half round celebrating and taunting. He wasn't even working. So what do you mean Billy was really brave to carry on? He got hit and was out of there within 90 seconds. What is this? What is this whole braveness business? The only way Billy could have been worse, is by jacking immediately after. But how many times has that happened? How many times has a fighter got hit and then quit there and then? I've never seen it. Genuinely, I've never seen it. I've never seen a fighter be hit and then quit with one punch. Never seen it before. So it doesn't say much about him that he lasted 90 seconds of running around and not being engaged with. And that's why Mark Tibbs was so insistent on another round, because he's thinking to himself, you got hit once and now you want out of there. That's not how the sport works, unfortunately. Especially not when you've been talking real greasy. Then Ben Davidson replies and says, the interviewer says, we know Billy would have gone out for another round. And Ben says, yep, I know for a fact Billy Joe Saunders would have gone out for that round. Well, if you knew that, why didn't you let him then? Because he weren't protesting. I've seen fighters want to do another round. I think even the Fernando Vargas one. He got stopped, but he wanted to do another round. You can tell, we all, as humans, we can tell when someone wants to do something and when someone doesn't. It's almost like the guy in the bar who gets into a fight and his mates are holding him back. He don't really want it. You know when someone wants it and when someone doesn't. It's simple, basic body language. I know there's some of you Billy Joe Saunders fans who are struggling with intelligence, and that's just peak for you. But apart from anyone with a pretty standard, a pretty average level of intelligence, knows Billy didn't want no more. In fact, even saying no more implies he had anything. He didn't want nothing. He wanted absolutely nothing to do with Alvarez.